Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Oh, it's been a day already. No.
Mhm.
No, I've been busy. I was trying to work on all the cards for the collective for tonight and got those done. I posted nighter in the morning the next day.
And I've already taken my second dose of Advil for my back pain that I have today.
He apparently wrenched his back this morning a little bit. So we're all in great shape here. No, I'm actually okay. I'm
I'm
doing fine.
okay.
I'm okay. You're
No,
okay.
you say, I'm okay, you're not okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
Or vice versa. I'm not okay, you're okay?
whatever works for the collective today.
Yeah, Sonny showed up early.
Yes, he did. Giving me grief. I had to push my computer all the way back here because he was slobbering on it. I mean, literally. So
Good times.
he should know better. Anyway, we found out our son got a dog. The dog is named Chase, and I suspect he'll be chasing it around quite a bit. It's 4 months old. It's a shepherd, what is it,
Husky.
husky mix, and I hope the two cats like him, and I hope that the dog treats him well.
They've had cats for at least 7 or 8 years, and their cats are really nice, but I'm sure they're not going to get along easily with the dog.
Yeah, so it's going to be I'm sure, a transition there.
Hi,
That's
Ari.
one I have to deal with. Oh, hi, Ari. Guess what? I already put you on the list because I just had a feeling you would be the next one to come in. And you know who I think will be next? Kara. I put Kara on the list too because I keep forgetting to put her on the list. I thought I'd get ahead of myself. So, at any rate, it's kind of funny. But I did want to say, all right, we're going to be using the Season of the Witch Litha Oracle by Lorianne Anderson. And I have to say, this woman, she is one savvy businesswoman. Let's put that out there. She is coming out now with tarot decks. She's going to have a tarot deck series, not for all the Sabbats, but for the 4 seasons. And it's going to be like, for example, the first one to come out, which is going to come out in October, is going to cover Yule to Candlemas. And then, of course,
Winter.
there'll be spring to probably Beltane or summer. I'm not sure how she's dividing this up, but for the 4 seasons, obviously. And so they're very nicely themed. There's already some sample cards showing up on Amazon. And I'm definitely going to want these. They're really beautiful. She is just smart. I knew that once she reached the final deck she had to do in this series, that we didn't see the last of these seasonal kind of decks. So, looking forward to that. All right. So let's use this one. And I've got this adorable Midnight Sun Oracle, which is for Litha Season 2, which I'll be using. And I also have it here as an Oracle deck. But let's use this one today.
Jamie's Cowboys. Hey, hey.
Jamie's. Ah, you came in before Kara.
I will add you to the
Put
list.
them before Kara.
Yes.
And change the number, of course. All right. Hi, Jamie's. Good to see you. Okay. Is it all updated? Don't post it yet, though. We'll post it after this card. All right.
I'm not sure where I'm at with the numbers, so I'll let you figure that out.
Oh, well, I can do that. That's fine.
All right.
What you got?
Upside down, right side up.
Nope, right side up, all of them.
Are you ready, Jimmy? Jamie, are you ready? Okay, so sunset dinner. Aw, that's nice.
So what number is that?
Number 39.
Oh, I'm right on it.
An invitation awaits you. Yell to the stars that you are ready to go, just like Just like Jamie's Cowboys.
Let's party. Let's party. All right. So, yes, it's an invitation, a seat at the table, leveling up. You have been invited to the party and are about to receive your seat at the table. Your hard work is paying off, and all the people who matter have noticed. It's got kind of that Six of Wandish energy to me a little
Yeah.
bit. I've noticed. Are you ready to shoot your shot? A new opportunity can come at any moment, and you don't want to miss your chance to join the club. Do what you can to feel more confident and secure in the goals you are chasing. Get that pitch together, dress for success, and study or undertake research or anything else that is required to make you feel more prepared. It's really interesting. This kind of, is a great card for my Material Matters show, number one, from the sounds of it. Make your pitch, get things ready, make sure you're ready for your presentation, whatever. Well, and the other thing is about readiness, because I noticed in a lot of the readings, I just want to bring this up for Material Matters, we had the Nine of Wands upright and reversed, which is all about preparedness. And so I'm wondering if that's a theme for this week ahead, being prepared for something coming your way. Or, could be good, could be bad. So just be prepared. Forewarned is forearmed. All right. So back to it. Sorry about that. Do what you can to feel more confident, secure in your goals you're chasing. I did mention all of that. Make sure you're prepared. A second meaning of this card is the need to spend time with people who can lift you up. They say you are the same as the 6 people you spend the most time with, which is perfectly fine if those people represent where you want your life to go. However, if you're finding you are frustrated, disappointed, or generally annoyed with the way your current circle of people are behaving, then it might be time to find people who will push you out of your comfort zone and inspire you to be great. Again, lots of Six of Wands energy here. Not only that, they mentioned 6, the 6 people, you surround yourself with. Well,
Nice.
there's a truth here. You want people who elevate you, who make make you feel good about yourself and about them. You don't want people who are always Debbie Downers. I mean, we always want to help uplift people and lift people up, but sometimes people just like staying in the dirt, if you know what I mean. They just like staying there. And they would like nothing better than to bring you down there too. Right?
Are you looking at me?
Are you saying you're like that?
Hi, Dex. We'll get you on the list.
Hi, Dex. We'll get you on the list.
No, of course not.
Why don't you talk about the card while I update?
Well, so since it is a course, that kind of energy, it's a card for the collective. So this may be saying that it lines up perfectly with the idea that for many of us, weather has just kind of oomphed up, has kind of changed a little bit. People do want to get out more. People do want to see what's going on with their friends. If you're not being invited somewhere, there's no reason why you can't consider inviting people to something. And, if you can't, comfortably have one in your home or your environment, meet them at the coffee shop or something like that.
I mean, it's kind of funny because it sounded like,
Hi, Kara.
Kara, we already added you to the list. So I wouldn't forget you this time.
It's almost like you're predictable.
You did say you were coming today, so I wanted to make sure I didn't forget you in the shuffle. So you are on the list. All right. At any rate, it does look like a dinner party. This whole thing is about invitations, an invitation to greatness, an invitation to parties and celebrations, and this is the season for that. There's graduations at this time of year. There's weddings at this time of year. There's a lot of celebrating that happens at this time of year. So, make time to celebrate yourself, even if you feel, you have nothing to celebrate. Why not? That's what I have for the collective today. Good luck with that.
Alrighty. So we'll get Dex and Kara on the list. Thank you for posting your questions.
Get them on the list. They are on the list.
Oh, we already did it? Okay.
Betcha.
Very nice.
Kara's been there almost from the start.
Yeah.
And so was Ari. I put Ari on too because I knew. I just knew.
Righty then.
And the number is updated, so we're good. Here is the list as I have it at the moment. There we are. Okay.
Okay.
You go first.
And we'll start with Jackie, who asks us about past lives. Jackie
Oh,
says, what was my life like in my most recent past life?
I wish I had that deck down here. I keep thinking I brought it back down, but if I did, I don't know where I put it.
Well, I am using the Marvel Superheroes Tarot, so maybe you were a superhero.
So I wish I had that deck, and I'm going to try to have it down here for past life. It just gives a final. I would use the part that gives a final summation, as to
Sure.
what the takeaway from that life is. But I don't have it handy now. One thing I do have down here that I have been using lately, and I am ready to use it with the public, but again, it looks like I moved it somewhere. Is this deck about the dead and our beloved dead, and if people are looking for a message from spirit, this oracle may be able to provide one. I'm not going to say it's necessarily from that spirit, but it will be from the spirit realm. And I got some interesting stuff from that already.
All right, card one for Jackie is the reversed Four of Swords. Then there's the reversed Ten of Wands. And Reversapalooza, the reversed Two of Cups.
So no people in this card.
Yeah, I get an inkling though of an idea here, of a
Maybe we
story.
should have thought about this. Anyway, well, because we need a person. I don't know what she was. Can you tell by these cards?
She didn't ask what she was. She asked what was her life like.
Oh, well, then this will work. Okay.
So to me, the Four of Swords reversed, I'm wondering if maybe you recovered from some near bad thing that happened in this life, like maybe you almost died and you somehow came back, or maybe you did have a near death that somebody rescued you from drowning or something like that. The Ten of Wands suggests that maybe this released a burden somehow.
Is there a Ten of Wands in this reading?
Yes, it's in the middle and it's reversed.
Okay, what's the last card?
The last one's the reverse Two of Cups.
Okay.
Did you want to jump in now? Because I just talked about the first two a little bit. I think that maybe there was a release of a burden. Maybe it's connected to the idea that you escaped death or you recovered from something particularly bad. I mean, maybe this could suggest that whatever that was, you didn't have to go back to that. Maybe getting better, recovering from something meant you also lost whatever this burden was. This almost sounds to me like maybe you had a life where there was some big hardship. Maybe it was an illness, maybe it was a situation, and somehow you managed to recover, and that released you perhaps from some burdens.
I don't know. You have the Two of Cups there reversed.
I didn't get to that one yet.
Well, but that I think is intricately aligned with that Ten of Wands.
Go right ahead.
I think you had a very difficult, you are involved in a very difficult relationship with someone. Now, often that indicates a love relationship, but in a small reading like this, I'm going to expand it out a little bit to say this could even be a relationship with family, somebody in the family, or with a lover that just you had major, arguments, fights, struggles with. And that Ten of Wands indicates that you had to put, well, I think those two cards together indicate you've had spent a lot of energy trying to alleviate yourself from these burdens, whether you were constantly trying to make amends. Maybe this was kind of a codependent relationship where you were always backing down from things just to kind of placate the person that you were fighting with all the time. Or, you were putting a lot of energy in trying to find an escape route from this, if this got kind of to the point of violence or something like that. So I sense here you are the victim here of some difficulties and struggles in a relationship in this life. And this is supposed to be your most recent life too, you wanted. So with the Four of Swords again could indicate to me too that you wanted, whether you were able to do it because of what was going on here or not, you really wanted to live a very active, energetic life. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't that long ago a life, and either you were involved in some kind of sport or some physicality with what you did. It's making me wonder if you were a man or a woman in this life, depending on how far back we're going here. And I can't really sense a time frame, but I have a feeling it's not that very long ago.
I'm not sure about that, but I sort of feel like it could be more recent than not. Like as in the last 100 years. To me, that's
Yeah, I wouldn't
recent.
go beyond that.
To me, that's recent, maybe.
Right.
But
No, it is in the grand scheme
yes, of
of,
course, of course.
yeah.
I like what you said about the Two of Cups reversed, and I sort of feel it also fits into what I said too, because maybe this was about some relationship that had a lot of disharmony and distrust in it, and it caused burdens that ended up having to be released, probably because you recovered from this bad relationship.
Yeah, you kind of woke, that's
Yeah.
a good point too.
And so I sort of feel that's there. I'm not clearly feeling that your gender here. I sort of feel like maybe you were more likely female, and that's maybe me putting that on you because socially speaking, in the last 100 years, women still didn't have freedoms to necessarily leave a marriage easily. They maybe had to leave it under duress, if anything.
I can't rule it out. I'm kind of wondering here too, Jackie. This is just a thought. I don't know if it will resonate with you, but looking at the burdens, the energy you had to I almost wonder here if you were under a condition of some servitude. I'm not saying that you were a slave in America or anything like that
Indentured servants,
necessarily,
things like
but
that, or
there are housekeepers, there's,
housekeepers.
pardon me?
I just repeated what you said.
Okay, there are housekeepers, there are, people that maintain estates, gardeners, etc. Uh, they had to help landowners. So I can't help but wonder that because it seems like this energy, the burdens, and the difficulties with someone, it could be a master over, you know, a slave or a servant. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
let's face it, even in,
Yeah.
more European
Well,
or
Britain and
a
everywhere.
100 years ago, a wife was literally a servant to
Is
the
that, I
household.
suppose. Hmm.
From the Lenormand, our first one is the fox. And that kind of goes along with your idea that maybe this was a work environment. But here's also the moon.
I think this person was really successfully navigating some of their hardships, is what I feel this is saying here. The fox is crafty, and so I know it's about work, and I agree with you that maybe that could be a sign that this is kind of a master servant relationship or a work relationship. Even the work world back then, sometimes workers, obviously pre unions, were treated rather harshly. And so I think, though, the fox is saying to me, because I feel you found an escape route, that you cleverly navigated what you needed to do to free yourself from your burdens. Okay. And that's the moon. The moon is about success, and the fox is about using your head.
Yes, the fox and the moon add that final context there because I think we were both on it in some way in particular, Jackie, that this was maybe a person who had a relationship that presented certain burdens. We could call them chores, obstacles, responsibilities that they were able to navigate, even though they sort of operated. And this is why I thought maybe it was a relationship because of the Two of Cups, but turned, in this. And, back then it was taken for granted. Woman obeyed husband. I do feel it was more likely you were female there, but I could hold that open as a ambiguity.
Yeah, I'm not going to say for certain. I think there's a lot of things that indicate to me male here, but he could be right because clearly in a relationship, if it is a romantic relationship instead of a work one, I would have to say yes, so you might have been the woman in that case because you had to be smart and sharp to and crafty and clever to escape. A lot of women, during some of the years past. I mean, to even be involved in art or religion, they had to disguise their sexuality. They had to be smart. They had to publish works of fiction under their husbands' names
Or
and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I can't rule out that, maybe it was something like that, but I still feel a bit of male energy here. So, I wish you luck with that.
all right, Jackie, that was a great question.
It was a good question.
Kind of stretched our
You
boundaries.
made us think. First thing. Now my head is gone for the rest of the readings. I'm sorry,
Good
guys.
luck.
Blame Jackie. No, no, I'm just kidding. That
All right.
was very enlivening.
Okay, so we're up with Siama. You're welcome.
By Siama?
And Siama wanted a love reading. No particular parameters of time or anything else.
I love reading. All right.
And I think we talked about it recently, but we're just going to let you know that, of course, we're right on the verge of Sun moving into Gemini. Therefore, it's time for another monthly modality message where we look at the modality signs of the zodiac and we figure out how their energies are best used for the following month. It's good for every sign of the zodiac as divided by their modality. This will be on at Tuesday night from 4 p.m. Hope you watch it.
General love reading.
Hmm.
The Emperor reversed. Hmm. Six of Swords reversed. Oh boy. And the Page of Cups reversed. Not feeling very enthusiastic about this reading. What do you got, Mr. O?
Excuse me. Hi, Marita. We will add you.
Hi, Marita.
All right. Our fox has returned again from this particular Lenormand.
Okay.
There they are. As well as, is that just the birds?
Yes,
All right.
there are birds on there.
We are adding you, of course, Marita. Alrighty. So, Siama, some of this looks a little bit, not conducive to positive emotional situations going on. There may be a sense that you don't really feel like you have a handle on where you want things to go. This could be that you're not able to make certain decisions or choices at this time. And that may be partially influenced by that middle card there, the Six of Swords reversed. This may be indicating that from an emotional point of view, there's something you haven't really resolved that you need to first to move ahead towards other experiences in the romantic or emotional field.
Well, Sam, it looks as though things are slow go for a while. I think with that six of swords in the middle there, it just seems like things are not moving quickly enough. It's a slow go. It may be that that's the Page of Pentacles, right?
Yeah, no cups. I didn't even get to
That's
that yet.
right. It's the Page of Cups.
Oh,
It
okay.
seems as though maybe there might be, some dates that maybe you might end up, or invitations to meet somebody or do something with somebody that may get canceled, that may get postponed. You yourself might postpone them because maybe you feel, well, because I think maybe upon communicating with somebody, you might not feel confident that they're right for you. So you might cancel it, or it might be the other way around. And the reason I'm saying that is because I see the birds and the
Fox.
fox the fox together here, which indicates to me there might be somebody who's very intriguing, you might be magnetically attracted to, but upon talking to them, you may wonder if they're really being open and honest with you. The fox can be sneaky, and the fox can be like maybe they want to move too fast, or you're just really questioning where they're coming from. And there's not a lot of trust here. I feel with the birds and the fox takes on a little bit more of a negative tone because the birds can be about gossip or some malicious talk or difficult conversations sometimes. And that's sort of what I'm feeling there. When I look at the Emperor reversed, I feel here that you don't want to lose yourself or, lose control of things in romantic situations. So, really, it's a slow period right now. Don't accept invitations that come unless you're really sure that they're right for you. Because it looks like there may be something coming along that may not be in your best interest. And like I said, maybe it's just best to let things settle for a while.
Right. This sort of portends a near future that doesn't have a lot of better things going for it. It is more that idea that maybe you want to sort of wait a little bit longer. And I hate to say that if, this particular season is more conducive for dating or associations. I do feel the reversed Page of Cups is sort of indicating this overall, though, that maybe you will feel there's nothing really worth putting yourself out there for. And remember, I mentioned the Six of Swords suggested a situation that wasn't resolved emotionally speaking. I'm almost wondering if that could be connected to the birds and the fox, maybe being somebody from your past, either recent or not, who maybe is trying to reinterest you, but it's coming in a funny way. Maybe it's coming through a dubious connection, gossipy, that there's interest in, and you're going to try to figure out how to avoid that, I think, while at the same time you feel like you're not really moving forward.
So I think for the next month or two, just play it cautiously. Um, Take care and realize here that sometimes, I mean, something that looks good may not end up panning out in the end. That's that Page of Cups. It's like either invitations get canceled or there's something not right about them to begin with. So just keep your eyes wide open and realize that it may either be a slow period or a difficult period to get something off the ground. Good luck with that. Sorry about that. Wish I had better news. I don't know why those cards are all reversed. Thank you.
All right, and Lena's up.
Hi, Lena.
Lena wants to know if her finances get better in the coming months. I hear that.
This is reposted.
All right. Well, Lena, I will
You're welcome,
use.
Siama.
Yes, you're welcome, Siama. Alrighty, I have a tarot to use. It's my Incubus tarot.
In the coming months. Right.
Alrighty, got it. The first card is the upright Eight of Pentacles. The next one is Major Arcana 15, the Devil. And the next one is the reversed Ten of Pentacles.
Reverse Ten of Pentacles.
Yeah, so
that devil's upright, correct?
the Devil is upright.
As hard as you're trying, well, I hate to, let's see. Okay. There is some silver lining here. We'll
Here's
talk
the
about it.
Rider.
There's a little bit of a silver lining here, Lena, but it's going to be a struggle.
The Ship.
I want to say
Yeah.
that I think, you've been working hard towards trying to maybe change your financial conditions, whether it's looking for a better job, saving money, trying to, only shop when necessary or for bargains. You're really trying, you're working on this, or go looking for another job or trying to get a promotion. But the devil is saying that, something is still holding you back. It may be oftentimes with the devil, it is something within you that's doing it. But, I can't help but think that in this case, it might be external circumstances that is holding you back, that you feel you really don't have the freedom or the ability to liberate yourself from, the more, how should I say this, the difficulties you're having with your finances right now. It just seems like you feel stuck and trapped, through no fault of your own because you feel you've been working on this or trying to. Um,
Ten of Pentacles.
that's right. And with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, I am a little concerned here that, this has been maybe what this card is saying is that this has been going on for some time now. And there's a potential here that this could drag out even longer. And I'll explain why when I get to the Lenormand. Well, maybe I should just do it now and let Mr. O take it. Because I look at the ship and I look at the rider and I think to myself, maybe this means Lena's ship is coming in. Maybe this means something will shift in time. And I think this is true. It may not be 2 months from now. It may not be 3 months from now. It may be more like 4 to 6 months from now that maybe something is going to shift and change. And the reason I'm saying that, out of all the modes of transportation out there, ships don't move very quickly, do they? I mean, motorboats do, but if we're talking about a big ship like this, they're slow. They take time to get to where they're going.
Okay, I like that because you're going with the symbolic value of the image, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
And symbolically, when I look at Eight of Pentacles, I do feel that this is more coming to you, that you are going to question the idea of what exactly you're adhering to. What protocols are you following? What are you trying to do that's right and yet still feel like you're not getting ahead? You're still feeling like you're trapped where you at. That's the devil. And so you sort of feel like you're just in a limbo of some sort where the movement just isn't happening for you, but you do feel you can't necessarily break the sense of changing anything right now. You're just sort of locked there, I think is what it comes down to. And the Ten of Pentacles suggests maybe that to some degree things are just going to slowly move in the same direction. But I think that is, like Banshee says, maybe only for a while, that may be somewhat longer than you can appreciate. Maybe it's several months longer. Things will start to change, but you're really going to have to try to hang in there till then.
Well, and keep working at it. I mean, nothing is just going to magically happen. You have to keep trying to
Yeah.
kind of push it forward, move it forward, keep trying, whether it's applying for better jobs, whether it's really showing management you deserve that raise or you deserve more money for what you do. Just keep at it because it won't come without that oomph from you and freeing yourself from whatever is blocking your progress in this regard.
And that's why the Eight of Pentacles is there, because it does say, stick with the plan, follow what you know best, go with the procedures or situations you understand. Some amount of deviation is okay, but too much may, cause a problem.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Libra is up.
Libra.
All right.
You're
What's
welcome.
coming towards me? So we'll do my reading.
Okay.
Well, we'll do my reading. I mean, I could
I
go
think
either
so.
way when it's what's coming towards me sometimes.
This Saturday coming, happy hour will be back at its normal time of 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are looking for something to kind of give you that little anecdote to the dreariness of life, come see us for happy hour. Get a single card message that promises or guarantees a divine, uplifting, positive message.
Now, for all of you who are still here, I'm just toying. I haven't even brought it up to Mr. O yet, so he'll be
What?
surprised by this. I'm just toying with the idea of possibly starting an hour early next Sunday because our son might be having a barbecue. I'm not sure. I'll have to check with him. They like to do it on Sundays instead of Mondays on Memorial Day.
Oh, right. It's the holiday weekend,
Yeah.
Memorial Day here.
But if it's Monday, then I won't change the time. But if it's Sunday, I think we'll start our show an hour early so we can get over there.
Yeah.
You like that?
They have a puppy and we want to go play with him.
There's going to be a lot of people playing with the puppy there that day, so it's not just us at the barbecue. But I want to meet the
Gee, I'll
puppy
have to make
before
something
him.
special to eat
And, oh,
too, eh?
gee, I guess I'm going to have to spend some money. I can't go see a new puppy without buying the puppy a toy.
There
It's just
is
a
that.
given.
But I'll probably want to do something for
That
them.
means, too, I may have to get something for their poor cats who have to put
Aw.
up with the puppy. Fair warning, Mr. O. Fair warning.
It's going to be a riot.
All right. All right. You're welcome, Lena.
All right, so we're on Libra, and of course we are going to do
What's coming to
your card
Yes.
reading.
I'll try to put a message on, you can leave messages on YouTube. Hopefully, you guys will see it or get a notification about that if we do change the time. Well, this is nice, Libra. What's coming towards you? It's the star upright.
That's a cute stuff.
So, hope and optimism returning. You've had some heavy cards of late, I think, if I recall right, some of them. And this is saying this week it looks like maybe what's coming towards you is some hope and some optimism in some area of your life. You're feeling more confident. Maybe you're just feeling, better physically, mentally, more alert. The star, also, I can't rule out the fact here that. Maybe something you wished for looks more available to you now.
Excuse me. And I was going to say something similar because I sort of feel this could be saying that an event that maybe has personal significance, your tickets to a particular event or some situation may have also come up too.
Well, hold your beer, Mr. O, because look, speaking of invitations.
Aha.
So the
So
Page of
this
Cups
is
is
why
here.
it's important.
Why is it important? Because either you're going to get an invitation, like Mr. O suggested, or there's some good news coming. There's some news coming that's going to make you feel really happy.
It could feel like maybe, you're hearing from somebody you haven't heard from in a while and you're very close to them. Where will it lead?
I guess I should use this deck for every reading. What are they all upright in
It's the
here?
King of Cups.
No, they're not. But
Oh,
King of Cups is here. So why is this important? Because I don't know. Because you deserve happiness. Maybe it's something that you have done that is just set something in motion that's bringing, great joy to you. Or maybe you're being there for somebody else in times of need might be making some positive, thing happen. You're getting rewarded in some way.
this is very interesting. Our Lenormand has an anchor and the letter. And of course, we already have a sense of the letter from the Page of Cups.
This good news that you're receiving that's going to make you feel more happy and hopeful, maybe something that is going to involve your security in some way, whether it's your financial security, your a living where you live security, job
Well,
security,
there's so many cups, so it could be talking about emotional security.
emotional security, maybe some relationship or friendship or relations with a family that's been on the rocks. Now everything is okay once more. I don't know. It could
Something
be.
solidifies.
It could. Yeah. You got anything to add to that? Wow, that's
I think
crazy.
I added enough.
Did you add to the King of Cups enough?
The King of Cups represents somebody who wants to be kind to you. It could be yourself, but in this context, I sort of feel like it's maybe the closeness with another individual, whether there's somebody already in your life or somebody that's coming to your life.
So it could be a man. It just could be somebody who exudes these qualities. It could be somebody who's a water sign, who's got your best interests at heart. And I think that there's something uplifting happening here. Good news because of what they either have to say to you or are doing for you. And it may involve some emotional, financial, material, whatever, security in your life. And everything is looking up. I just like this reading. Very nice, Libra. Wow.
Absolutely. Good luck with
Look at
that.
that.
Hope it all comes true.
Indeed.
All right.
Look
And
at Erie.
Aries up. Hey, Aries.
All right.
Ah, with the Mr. Taurus is a soulmate connection. Well, that's interesting. Okay. I think this is my opportunity to use my Tarot of Light. It's a newer deck for me, but it's not a especially new deck.
How do you want to do it?
I don't know.
Do you want to do it 2 and 2? Soulmate, karmic?
Okay, that
It might
sounds
be
good.
neither, but
Right, or both,
or
right?
both. Well, it could be both. Maybe we should just do 3 and see.
Okay, we can always do a yes or no of some sort to
That's true.
clarify.
That's true.
So let's see how we go.
All right. Oh man, I am so. What is the temp in here now? Still 74.
74.
Yeah. I am so like happy that we've got a cooling trend for the next week. It's going to be in the 60s all week and the mid to upper 40s at night. Very comfortable sleeping weather and very comfortable daytime temperatures. 60s is my element, up to the mid to maybe 78 degrees. Then I start to say, enough. But I'm looking forward to it. However, the week ahead promises to be a bit rainy. That's what I've heard. So,
And I don't usually like that.
yeah. At least it's not stormy. I'm feeling so bad for everybody who's gone through the storms. I'm very concerned about somebody. I should write to them who lives in Kentucky. Because I know two people that live in Kentucky.
Hi, Neelam.
And I'm kind of worried.
We will add you.
Oh, it's been a while, Neelam. Hi there. Good to see you again.
And we're not too bad.
Our list is a little slow, surprisingly, today, but hey, the weather is nice a lot of places, so I assume a lot of people are getting out and about.
All right. So, first card is reversed Eight of Cups or Hearts, as they called it here. And second one is the reversed Nine of Hearts. Yow. And another reverse card. Boy, I'm so sorry, Ari. It's the Four Swords. They call it Angels. Reverse, that's actually not so bad.
Four Swords reversed is not so bad.
Thank you,
Name the
Neela.
other two again. I missed the first one.
It's the Eight of Hearts or Cups and the Nine of Cups. Both
And they're
reversed.
both reversed.
Yeah.
All right, let me throw the Lenormand on this. I want that out there.
No, it is not.
Nope, not the Nine of Cups. It's the Eight of Cups, I thought. Oh, you got
They're
the
both there.
Oh.
And you mentioned it yourself a moment ago.
This
Now,
is the ring of being karmic. It really does.
all right. Yeah, I feel something is karmic here. And even if there's bad things, it doesn't mean no is the answer. It means, oh, well. And the ring. Okay, so let's
It may
go.
not be a bad thing, but let's talk about. You wanted to know if there was karmic or soulmate implications here. That's the way I'm going to look at this. And I have to say, yes, I think it's karmic. And I feel here with the Eight of Cups reversed, you two were in a relationship that you felt like you had to be stay together. Now, whether that was for financial reasons, or survival reasons, whatever the case may be, you maybe didn't feel the love so much as the necessity of having to stay together. This is kind of what I'm feeling with the Eight of Cups.
I can see that. I sort of am diverging a little bit, which seems to indicate that this life, as a connection karmically or soulmate, had these challenges for a reason. The challenges were to see if you would come back together ultimately. So maybe these actually transpire over more than one life.
Well, I'm going to get to how it equates to the present life later. I want to just go through the cards as I see them. And I feel here you guys were kind of stuck together. Maybe it was a marriage, like what do you call it? An arranged marriage, okay? Like even in cases of royalty, sometimes people have no choice. They're betrothed to a certain person because of rank, etc., right?
Keeping it in the family.
Right. So I'm almost feeling like something like that. So neither of you necessarily felt totally fulfilled in this marriage, but the whole point is you stayed together for each other, whether it was out of necessity or out of force, say you had to do it. And, that's something to be said for that. You hung in there together. And when I see the last card, which is that
Four Swords reversed.
the Four of Swords reversed, it indicates to me that there was some chemistry here. There was some excitement in this marriage. There was some good things that happened in this marriage, despite the fact that you didn't have You had no choice in the matter. There was movement too. I can't help but wonder here if maybe you had to move around a lot, or, for some reason, or at some point in your life, you had to make some major moves.
Well, to me, that Nine of Cups reverse could say that things weren't always a total mutual attraction. And once again, this could be across more than one life. That maybe that's the nature of connections. Is sometimes you you have to feel different challenges there, that it's not always about just finding your love for each other, but maybe it's about other obligations too, like sometimes even having a child in one lifetime, and then the way that situation works out in another one represents an obligation of some sort between those souls.
Well, Harry, I'll explain why I'm going the way I'm going in a minute, and I understand why you think you should be seeing more red flags, but I can't agree with that necessarily. I can't. Because one life's things don't necessarily translate to what's happening in this life now and why you came back together. Okay, so let me explain that. And just because you may have had a karmic relationship, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that has to play out negatively in this life. Okay. So let's take a look at this. You've got the ring here and you've got the cross, which again indicates to me that you guys faced a lot of hardships in your bond together. And I'm not saying that was between the two of you, but you had a lot of outside pressures on you in this relationship, and it caused a lot of hardships in your partnership. So what does that mean for today? I'll just add this right now. What does that mean for today? You may have been brought back together in this life to experience something you did not have in this life. You're karmically back together because maybe there is something more to this relationship than you were allowed to experience in this life, because you were forced into it, or you had no choice but to be into it to survive, whatever the case may be. So these are all external factors. Karma's not necessarily such a negative thing. It's just negative things could happen to you, but it isn't between necessarily the two of you. It's what happened to both of you in this lifetime that made it a karmic relationship.
Well, despite the soulmate connections you may have or may not
May
have,
not.
um, each soul has a determination in between lifetimes that they know what they want to experience. And so their life goes about setting those things up. So, really, both of you may have had challenges or desires to experience certain things in those past lives that don't necessarily happen exactly the same way in this life, because this life could be a different challenge. And maybe you'll just end up being great friends, although you were intense lovers in the past, or vice versa.
Or,
Maybe you were only more,
go
we got
ahead.
to talk quite at length,
Yeah, go ahead.
casual friends, and now this is the lifetime where maybe you become more than casual.
I actually was mad at myself for interrupting. I thought maybe you were going to be done, and
Okay,
then I'm like, no, he's not done
it's
yet.
okay.
So I think here too that you maybe are back together to experience something better. I don't have a sign of that here. So here is what I would say to you. If you can remember to do this on our next show that you come to. But since this relationship seems so important to you, I would now ask if this relationship in this life is going to play out differently and better than the past life. How is this relationship going to play out? None of this here that we are telling you right now is telling you how this is going to play out in this life. This is about that karmic life, because you asked about that. It's not showing that it's going to play out the same way in this life at all.
That's
So
reasonable.
don't make that extrapolation, okay? Things may play out entirely differently. And that's why maybe you're back together, so that you have a chance to experience something better. So good luck with that.
Good luck, Ari.
And maybe you have more than one past life together. I mean, hey,
It's very likely.
I like to think that's possible. We think we've had a few lives together at least. So, you know,
Sometimes they do, and there's always
yeah.
like some sort of reason why that happens, and what you guys are meant to work out, because that's real life. It's like a soap opera.
Well, they do get a bad rap, and but karma is a funny thing. It depends what end of karma you're on. And the way I looked at what I read there, a lot of what happened in your relationship together in that life was kind of through no fault of either of you. It seemed like it was a lot of outside things that made your life kind of what it was back then. So that's maybe why it's karmic, but it's not necessarily going to play out that way in this life. Good luck with that. All right, we're on Jamie's Cowboys.
Yes. Hey, Jamies, do you have a question for us? I don't remember if you left one.
I will
I'll
check.
look.
Mhm.
So, leave us a question. I'll kill a little time by talking about another show or
Yes, then you
three.
forgot.
The Unhappy Hour? Yes. It's coming. Every month the moon moves into the fourth quarter, and when it does, we have to do the Unhappy
We
Hour.
just have to.
We just have to. Want to tell them about it?
Well, number one, we all have difficulties and struggles in life, and this focuses on one that may be vexing you from this fourth quarter moon to the next fourth quarter moon, and how maybe you can turn that frown upside down. It's for the elemental signs of the zodiac, and we also do one for the world. And those are always very interesting. So do join us for that show. That will be coming out also on the same day as the modality message
Right.
because fourth quarter moon lands on the day the sun enters Gemini.
Right. That'll be 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yep.
And thank you. Jamie's wants a general.
My duck.
Well, okay. A question of sorts. Why did my ex-best friend destroy me in a chat? Ooh, that had to sting. Bad ex-friend.
Wow.
Of course.
Lies. I feel ya. I don't know why people do what they do. People can be cruel.
Well, in the boomer generation, they were talking about the me culture, everything's about me. But that wasn't just the boomers, that's been every generation since. It's always about me. All of us.
Seems to be a truth there. Oh my goodness. First card.
Your ex-best friend is the devil. Oh, that could be, yeah, there you go.
Knight of
That sounds
Swords.
very karmic, too.
Right.
Knight of Swords. Just thrusting away at you.
And Seven of Pentacles reversed.
Seven of Pentacles.
Well, to me, wow, this is very interesting. Let's see that Lenormand. What do you got?
That Lenormand has more of those gossipy birds and a fish. I think that's the
Wow,
wish.
they
Yes.
really did destroy you, didn't they? Lots of destruction, lots of gossip, or lots of slander. You know, the birds can be about that, and considering the nature of your question, that's why I'm going to look at the birds that way. And because I feel they came up for a reason. And you did say they destroyed you online, right? In a chat. And so that's it. You know, the birds are about chatting. The birds are about internet communications or verbal communications. So let's take a look at this. This is going to be a kind of a interesting reading. You want to know why? Because they like to manipulate people. They seem to like to manipulate and control people. That's the devil. You know, I feel they're playing the role of the devil here, and that you know, they were trying to have you under their thumb, you know, and put you down, bring you down, right?
Well, I often think that the devil is about codependent relationships, things
Okay.
that are oppressing ourselves, but we can't seem to get away from. So, my suggestion would be that maybe you weren't able to realize what kind of toxic relationship they really had with you. You know, they built you up in certain ways or played the game with you, but they were really, kind of putting all of their bad stuff onto you in a way.
And I'll just say this here, the Knight of Swords indicates to me she made a choice. She made a decision. She made a move. And, you know, she may have had her reasons for it, you know, whether she thinks she's right or wrong. She thinks she's right. Let's put it that way, because she's the Knight of Swords here. She just felt she had the right to do this, and she did it. And that leads me right into the last card. Oh gosh, what is it again?
The Seven of Pentacles.
Yes, which indicated to me she realized that this was going to wither this relationship on the vine. She realized that, and she was willing to sacrifice you and let you go. That's what it looks like to me. I think right here, I because when the Seven of Pentacles is upright, it's either a time to work harder on something or to just say I'm done with it. And I feel here, considering everything, she decided she was done with it.
If you didn't realize where this was going, that there were these codependent things going on, and you were kind of not seeing it exactly, she decided to put more pressure on. That's the Knight of Swords, sort of going full speed towards him.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think she wanted to burn through you because she probably just wanted you to decide on your own. You didn't want to be in that relationship. So, in a way, she was kind of a coward, which is the
yeah.
antithesis of the Knight of Swords who would want to be a hero. The idea that she
Oh.
wanted you to take the blame for ending the relationship because you were insulted with her. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's how it actually played, but I can sort of see it that way.
So as I said, the birds and the fish just means a lot of gossip or a lot of slander, which is lies, you know, another way to say lies. Just trying to ruin somebody's reputation for their own gain to maybe look like they're, you know, they're the better ones here or whatever, trying to show that they have power over you. It's very unfortunate, but it
Well,
certainly set itself up this
it
way.
is kind of like our shadow talking to us or our codependent behavior when we can manipulate somebody to make them do what we really want them to do and then also blame them for that too. Well, you didn't like me anyways, or that kind of thing. And I'm not saying that's how it played out with your ex, but it has that feel.
Oh, that's what we have for you. That was some tough stuff, but I mean, you already know this is just a really bad situation, and I'm sure you're horrified. Sorry you're going through that. You know, nobody deserves to be, you know, taken down like that publicly. I mean, and for no good reason. So I just don't understand some of the stuff that goes on with social media. I just
Yeah. And we have been burned ourselves
We've been
too.
burned. You know, I was blocked by somebody who I cared about a lot, and I still don't understand it completely. I feel that some of the things that were brought up in my case were just excuses because they really wanted to move on. And so
Which
that
is
might be what's
similar.
going on in this case is they may want to move on and they're just done.
Right. They feel there's more potential somewhere else.
Let's just say there are better ways to do that. Good luck with that.
All right.
All right.
And I guess Dex is up, right?
Mhm.
And May is ending fast. I want to know what energy to expect will be around me toward the end of May.
Oh,
That's
okay.
nice. That's a nice way of looking at it. Let's see. I will bring out my Crow's Magic Tarot. We'll see if the crows have a little magic for us.
Let's see what the crows have to cackle about.
Well, the deck has a lot of shamanic kind of stuff on it,
Well,
so
actually, what they have to crow about.
we'll
I
see.
should have said.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And with all of the other things that we're trying to do, the unhappy hour and the monthly modality, I'm still possibly going to do an unboxing of a fairly new deck, the Joker Tarot. I have to do that because I want to start using it, and I don't like to use new tarots without giving them an unboxing flip through of some sort.
Yeah, I have a couple new decks I want to break in, but I'm not sure I'm going to unbox
Ah,
them.
so this was about making you pick sides too.
Oh, yeah, don't you hate it?
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you for that
Well, I
reminder.
wonder too if that's why the Knight of Swords was there, because she was wanting to make you make a choice. Maybe that's why
Oh,
it
that's
was
right, you
there
did say that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting, Jamie.
Thank you for that. All right, so what's the energy going to be around Dextrose till the end of May? Let's hope it's a good energy. So the first one is the Three of Cups reversed.
That's not good.
No, that is not very good. But the next one is the Two of Cups upright.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Depends what you get. Uh-oh.
And then it's the Moon reversed. So that's an interesting energy, depending on how we're going to go with that. Mice. Those dag nabbit mice. And the anchor. Oh, can't you mice go find somewhere else?
Yeah, Victoria's not even here. What's up with that?
All right, so Three of Cups reverse sounds like maybe, socially, socially it's not a great energy vibe. It may feel like there are either things that you can't quite get to, parties, graduations, whatever, or maybe you're wondering why you haven't heard about them, so maybe that could represent something. I'm not sure.
What is your last reversal?
The moon.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you're going to find out about this.
Well, I wonder, Dex. I don't know if this has to do with work or pleasure, but we do have the cup cards here, which could be about your interpersonal relations with people. But I'm kind of seeing something with those three cards here. So let me have at it. I think the moon here is indicating that something is going to be revealed to you. And it may be about somebody you are close with, closely aligned with, whether it's somebody at work, that you work with, whether it's in a interpersonal relationship, friend, family, or lover. And it's going to cause some discord. It may make you realize who your true friends are, and who your enemies are. You may just not, have the support from certain people that you thought you had, or, because sometimes the Three of Cups can be about a couple of different things. It can be about missing engagements and inability to get together with people. Or it can be about, are the people around you really supporting you? Is it somebody that you have a closer relationship with at work? Maybe you thought somebody was your friend and confidant at work, or somebody you could count on to give you a hand or give you some support when needed, and they're not there for you. It just seems like you're finally beginning to realize that there are some people who are just not, you know, being your support, being good for you.
Well, you said work, so maybe you understand what this is. So it's probably a workplace thing. It almost looks like maybe there's something cliquish going on. The energy between the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups reversed
Yeah.
maybe suggests that, there's like little clicks going on, or that there are people who outright, shun others in the workplace. Maybe you're going to find out more about what's going on there with that. Um,
The,
so it's that kind of energy.
the only other thing I can think of is, there's not a lot to celebrate right now. With the Three of Cups reversed, you're just sort of feeling like, and sometimes the twos could indicate that you might be okay with that to some extent. I'm forgetting what the other card was on the end again. I can't
The
believe
moon?
this. The moon. There may be some realization here that there's just not much to celebrate right now, other than the fact that you feel like there's a certain balance or tense balance between people right now, but nothing really positive happening here. And I think I see the mice and the anchor, and I think until the end of May, what this is saying is there's just going to be little stressful situations that pop up from time to time relating to how you're relating to how you're dealing with others, and your relationship with others. And I think if you feel it at work, that's where it's going to stay for a little bit while, till at least the end of May, it looks like, because the anchor is stable. The anchor keeps things in place. And the mice is about stress and a little bit of things in life that get under our skin, that kind of make us upset, but they're momentary upsets. They're not things that are really deep. So I would say this: you may find out who you can count on and rely on in situations, but it's not going to be, it's not going, it may give you a little bit of added stress during this month.
Well, I don't know what kind of fluidity there is in work for you, other coworkers' assignments. Maybe it's the kind of situation that it changes because somebody is assigned differently, or the work they do somehow moves them in a way that you don't interact as much, something like that. So I sort of feel this is mostly boringly or otherwise just kind of, the doldrums you have to deal with at work, and that you can't necessarily expect it to change until, after May, perhaps. Some of this could be spring fever for some of these people. Maybe people are having cabin fever in different ways and just want to do something different.
It's really funny to see the Two of Cups upright in the midst of all of this.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of, but if the Lenormand had a more positive tone, I might look at that Two of Cups a little bit differently. But I really feel here, and it might indicate that maybe there's somebody who is your ally or your friend that you will be able to rely on. But, it seems to me you're realizing you may not feel you have as much support as you had hoped for.
I was going to say something like that. Like that could represent somebody who is an advocate, but they're kind of in the middle too. They can only just basically agree with you for whatever, weight that might give you. So it's just sort of a balanced situation. I think you said that too, between, these kind of, situations.
So good luck with that.
All
Oh
right.
boy. Well, at least it's only till the end of May. And the end of May is coming.
All
So
right.
maybe June will be better for you.
And we're on Kara then.
We are on Kara.
Kara, Kara. Kara, Kara. You're welcome. We kind of went on there a little bit.
And what's Kara's question? Okay. What is Odin and Freya has for her? Okay. Let's see.
All right.
My deck?
Yes, it's
Yes.
your deck.
Well, I'll use this semi-runish deck. Oh. It's really more elemental based, but there are some runic images on the cards. I'm sorry, did I wake you? You look so dopey looking. Yes, you do. Okay, my reading on that.
All right.
So, what do they have for you? Uh oh. It's the Six of Wands reversed. Well, what they have for you, Kara, is they don't want you to count your success in numbers. They don't want you to look at, say, I don't know, say like your follower count, the likes you get on posts, or the applause that you get. They want you to feel good inside about your progress without that external validation. So many times we don't receive the validation we feel we deserve, and that can bring us down a lot. Well, Odin and Freya says, "Cha, you know what? You don't worry about that. You just keep on keeping on, doing what you love, doing what you believe in, regardless of how people feel one way or another."
I like that a lot. I
Thank you.
feel that, the idea that many of us think about, how does this look to others? Or we think about that. To some degree, in some circumstances, that's valid. But a lot of times when we're talking about, deeply personal things, spiritual connections, whatnot, we are pulled by what we believe, our spiritual, energy suggests that we should do that. So I agree. I think the only validation you need is what you find within yourself.
So keep following your true north. Why is this important? Oh, I see. That's such a cool card. I just like the symbols of the cups, and one is spilling over here.
Five of Cups.
They're small images, but they're really quite nice. The Five of Cups is here upright, which why is this important? Because Odin and Freya can see sometimes this brings you down. Sure, I get that. Yeah, we have a lot of followers here on YouTube. We're always getting a few more. But we've been at this 6 years now, and we're kind of wondering why we can't hit 1,000 followers and what more we need to do. If we sat here and we just dwelled on this all the time and kept driving ourselves crazy because of follower counts or whatever, well, that's no fun. And that's not enjoying, and we're not doing justice to what we believe in. And so I think here that's what it's saying. Why is this important? Because you're feeling a little down sometimes, and we all do. We feel like maybe we could reach more people, or that more people could be in our orbit than they are, or why don't we have more friends? All is lost. No, it's not. You have things you're building still, and that matters.
Well, it's like an old song that I will now sing, love the one you're with, that even though, you may still feel underappreciated or not exactly where you want to be, there is something there for you, and that you have to not necessarily forget about that. And what is behind you is still there. Even if it is spilled, you can still sort of upright it and take care of it. So it's important to know that everything is never all lost.
So, where are things
Almost.
heading? Like that. It's the Three of Pentacles upright.
Another, oh, 1, 3. Okay, Three of Pentacles upright. Huh.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Hmm.
This could be a few things, mean a few things to me. The Three of Pentacles is obviously, maybe it's saying where this is heading is you finding a place where you fit in with a group. If you're feeling like something is lacking, don't be looking for accolades or support from others. Why not join a group of some sort, another group where you can feel a part of something bigger? That could be where things are heading. It could also indicate to me that Odin and Freya are telling you they are your partners. You know, they are here to support you. You can always call on them when you feel like you aren't enough or that nobody appreciates you. The gods understand what we are going through and they are there for you.
I feel there's a role for you, and that's what this says is
Yeah.
you are moving towards what your role actually will be. It will probably be something that, pertains to all of this, what you really want to be doing, and how you will help interact with others, or how those interactions will actually build something better. And of course, Three of Pentacles is about building
It
something.
could help develop your skills more. It could just give you more knowledge. There's definitely something to be gained through, joining up, finding your place with others.
Now,
Oh,
I know
I knew it.
the tree, that's not bad. But it's the clouds, and it looks like the dark face on the cloud is pointed towards that other side there. So,
Well, so what it's saying is that basically there's still some uncertainty in your mind as to where you should grow yourself, where you should set your roots down. So like there is no rush, there is no deadline here, for you to make things right in this, situation. This is a time to really maybe think things through and try to clear your head and maybe just play around with it a little bit before you decide to set your roots down somewhere. Check some groups out, check some different situations out, and find where you feel you truly belong.
it's like growth is coming to you, in that even if it seems like you're not understanding how this growth is happening, the tree, you know, um, it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
And at some point, then you will understand, and then it all will make sense.
Yep. Not bad. Not bad. I like it. I
All
wish
right,
you luck
Kara.
with this.
Good
Good
luck.
luck. And I like this cutesy little deck. All right.
Yes, I like this one too. What's it called?
I think it's the elemental,
Yeah, it is pretty
the
elemental. Yep.
rune elemental tarot, something like that. I can't,
You're welcome, Kara.
but I do like it. Look at that 10.
I know, that's pretty cool. I like it. There you go.
Yeah, I'll probably be using these more over time.
Hmm.
I really like them as far as a pip deck goes.
All
Okay,
right. Marita
you're
asks,
welcome, Kara.
when is my partner going to receive their visa? I want to travel this summer to my country, and I'm stuck because of this.
So it's a when?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Sonny. I gotta move you a little bit. Okay, so your partner needs his visa. All right, well, let's see. I may get the timing cards out, dare I? But let's see what the Lenormand can add to. All right. I just used my tarot deck for Kara.
So it's Myers.
Yep.
Indeed. All right. I use my Barbary Tarot.
You adorable. You know you are. There you go. Now you're in the right spot. Stay there. Just stay there, okay? I'll be done shuffling in a minute. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's see what you get.
Our first card is uh, Justice. I think that's Justice, don't you?
Oh boy.
If it's not Justice, it's Strength.
Yeah, I think we've been through this with this deck before.
Well,
I think it's justice.
I do too.
I I don't know for sure.
And it was reversed. The next one is the Page of Swords reversed. And the last one is the Four of Swords upright.
Oh jeez.
Wow,
No
that doesn't look very good, actually.
No hope there, but I have some. Thank you.
Okay, here's the Tower.
All right.
And
Well, we both
the
have
Fox
some
is coming
bad.
back again.
It's in our deck. So, well, hey, did you see that?
No, I missed it.
He grabbed my arm. He
Oh,
grabbed it from
like
up
that.
high. Yeah, I had my hand like this, and he grabbed it and pulled it down. Look at him. Blue wants the
Thank
other one
him.
too. You want the wand, don't you? All right. Well, okay, Marita.
Justice reversed.
It just seems like right now
It's not
things are
fair.
not balanced. That there's delays or you're not getting what you need or that you feel your husband or your partner deserves. I think here too with the
It's the Page of Swords
the Page
reversed.
of Swords reversed. It indicates that there's some bureaucratic brouhaha, red tape going on, and it is problematic. It is problematic because nothing in this tarot reading is telling me anything immediately is going to happen because there's the Four of Swords upright, and one time sometimes you could look at the Four of Swords as taking time off, but I think here this is saying that nothing's really happening right now, that there's no energy moving this forward at the moment. So I do think it will change. I'll use the timing cards with the hopes that it will give an accurate window of timing here. But the fox and the tower is what's giving me hope that this will change. That finally somebody will get to work on it in an institution and make it happen. I think it's possible, but there is delay. There's still delay.
There's a lot of delay, and it probably, in answer to your question, it may not really happen in time for you to do much summer traveling. It may happen after that. Maybe, that's what this is indicating.
I hope we're wrong.
Just even we hope we're wrong, of course. From the idea of logistics, institutional qualities tend to move slowly, resolve things slowly. I do feel that the Page of Swords sort of presents an awkwardness to the situation. Like maybe there's a part of this that somebody is messed up, and so that's part of the reason why it's taking so long. Maybe there's a paperwork problem of some sort. Maybe that's why justice is reversed too. Like maybe there's just something really messed up there. And I think that Four of Swords just says it's going to take longer than you want. And I'm sorry about that.
Well, we'll see. Like, I'm just going to take this with a grain of salt. But let's see. Do we have any common denominators here with the tarot? We have swords, right?
Yeah, we have swords, and justice has a sword.
Yes. And so swords can be swifter moving. Am I right?
They can be, but these ones are reversed, right?
They're reversed.
Well, one of them is.
So I think that something is just blocking the progress right now. And I think he's onto something with paperwork or red tape because I do think it's, in that Page of Swords, I'm feeling it's bureaucratic red tape.
Okay, is there a possibility that this is justice?
It's a possibility that it's strength too because of the way it looks.
Right, that's what I think too. So
She looked
we'll leave it the
tough,
way it
like
is.
she's strong.
We'll leave it the
So,
way it is.
but then the other one has a sword, so, and no scales. Know your deck. I think you really need to find the book and look at that one in the future because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
confused by it.
Yes,
Does
ma'am.
that one come with pictures or not? That could be a problem too. But at least 811, you'll know.
Right. The book will
You.
go tell me.
All
First off,
right.
Marita,
Let's
we're
see.
going to do the timing cards just to give it one last possible idea,
Maybe.
maybe.
Unless it says 10 years from now, and then I'll be really disappointed. That's ambiguous. Sometime within the next 9 months, this should happen. My
Right. And
personal
I thought it would be later than, yes, Jasmina, we can do that.
my personal feeling is that this could take anywhere from 9 weeks to 9 months. I'll give it that window. And this is another card that's just saying, what do you really feel about this? How, trust your intuition on the time frame as well. And maybe just keep affirming to the universe that you are going to travel this summer. Try to make some, if not plans, just try to put some things in place, like write up a list of things you'd want to do on a summer trip or something like that, because sometimes we can make things happen by acting like they are, like you already know they're going to happen. So if you want to get this visa before summer ends, then I would suggest to you is just start doing some things to foster that belief, and make it a reality. Sometimes what we believe, we can manifest. And so I want you to focus on that, Marita, and try to turn this energy around. Remember, the tarot's just a snapshot in time. You might be able, through right thought and action, be able to turn this around. So good luck with that.
All right. Good luck.
And we're on Neelam now, and I'm adding whom?
I added Jasmina.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you changed the number?
I did.
Okay. Thank you. So
Okay.
Neelam.
Thank you for your question, Neelam.
All right.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting question.
Well, I can have the timing cards, but they can be tricky. Or is it better to return back to Moscow and work? Oh boy, that's a lot here. Let me figure this out. Mm,
Thank you for your question too, Jasmina.
Well, let's do 3 cards and see. And or is it better to return back to Moscow and work? Do you want to do that as a 2 and 2? I don't.
I'm not sure.
I think we should do 3 cards. And
Yeah.
then we can ask if it doesn't look likely with the medical thing, we can do a yes no as to whether they should go back to Moscow and work.
And hi, Emily. I think we can add you. Yes.
I think we can add you. We've still got a half hour, and the list was a little shorter today. So we'll get you on it. We're winding it down slowly here, so
You're welcome, Jasmina.
let me repost it. You won't have long to wait. Okay, my deck. All right.
Yes. You're welcome.
Use this one. Hmm. Four of Swords upright. Queen of Cups reversed. Yeah. Six of Wands reversed. Well, where's your Lenormand?
The anchor and the moon. So the moon tethers to the anchor rather than
Yeah, I'm
vice
trying to
versa.
figure that out with what I see here. But, you know, a lot of things are pointing to me that they probably will expect exams or an internship, some kind of exams. I don't know if where you're at, you need to have exams for licensure, to be licensed to practice whatever you're going to do. Um, that may be a requirement for them. I'm not sure. But the Four of Swords is kind of indicating nothing's going to happen without the support of others. And I feel here you may be lacking support because if I look at the way the question is worded, you may be lacking the support you need to get this job without further review, okay, without further examination or without maybe doing something to boost up your skills, okay? And maybe that's why I'm seeing the moon and the anchor here. Your success has to be anchored in how they see you perform on the internship, maybe.
This really struck out to me. The Six of Wands maybe suggests that this medical council doesn't want to acknowledge you, or they don't want to see you with that award or that sense of that license would bring you. And maybe they are in recess, or maybe they're not able to do this for some logistic or functional reason. I get that from there too. Maybe there's a possibility that you have somebody there who is maybe opposed to the situation that you presented to them. Maybe they feel something else isn't meeting the muster. I just get the feeling with that somebody who maybe doesn't feel you're right for this or doesn't want to cooperate. And maybe there's another reason that we don't understand.
Okay, the question was whether they needed to do exams and stuff first. So I'm just
Okay.
saying, I don't think it's Neelam that you will never get the job, but I am saying they may have more requirements for you in order to do so. I think that Queen of Cups is indicating to me somebody is not going to be sympathetic to allowing you in without further review of your skills or your abilities. So I think that's what the sticking point is going to be here. But that's not to say you won't get it. And so let me see what kind of timing is involved for you.
I was beating around the bush, but yeah, the answer would seem to be no, they're not going to do this without more.
Yeah, I
They are
didn't know
not.
if, yeah, that's what you meant or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was beating around the bush.
Because I don't see a never here, but I do see it not happening immediately or as easily as you would have liked.
Well, the anchor suggests that maybe they are firm in their position at this time at least, but the moon suggests that maybe something could change that. The moon
Right.
could be about changes. So that maybe is dependent more on what you can bring to the situation rather than them just deciding to change their mind. Hello, baby. Lay down. Lay down.
I didn't cut them. I got to shuffle again. He's distracting me. One more. All right. Let's see if we can get a reasonable time frame here from this deck. Well, holy cow. So I doubt internships would take that long, but
Okay, so this is around Valentine's Day, so that's
That's a ways off.
7 or 8 months from now. 12 months.
That's a
So
long time.
it seems like it wouldn't happen before the end of the year.
I would say the end of the year or beyond. And
Mhm.
of course, if you had to do an internship, those do take some time. Why don't you hand me back the cards and let's ask if they should go back to Moscow and work? We're going to do a quick yes no for you, Neelam, and see if that other part of your question holds some weight here, that maybe you need to go back there and go back to work. 18 months. Oh, wow. So it could be 12 months too. Yeah. So in a way, the time frame was reasonable if they're asking that. And I'm getting that impression from the cards that they would require more from you. So let's just see about Moscow. Let's see what we get. We're just going to do a really quick, brief yes, no about whether you should go back and return to Moscow to work. More. All right. We're just pulling the top card. And it's a Two of Wands reverse. Now,
You'll have to work at
Wands
it.
mean you have to work at it. So that's really interesting too. I think what this means is clearly for you to go back to Moscow and go to work, there's going to be a lot of shifts and changes and work you're going to have to put into it. The Two of Wands reversed may indicate to me that, you know, maybe you're not quite prepared right now for that, having to make that move or decision, that it might take some planning and strategizing to find where you need to go and where to go to work at, and you'll have to move back, find living, etc. Maybe you already have that plan that you could move in with somebody or with family, whatever the case may be, but it's definitely going to require something out of you, to get that in order to do it. It's a possibility though, but it will take work. And it's interesting to me too because it almost sounds like it's talking about this situation again too. That, see, you're going to have to put in more work to make that happen. So I think either way, it's not going to be an easy choice for you, right?
I see what you're saying there. To me, when I see the Two of Wands reversed, I get the feeling like this could be saying too that a different direction should be considered, or another direction may show up that may not be the direction you thought. And of course, you've put in a lot of time though, so I understand what you're saying.
So, and remember, the tarot's a snapshot in time. Um, Are you finished and are you completing up your post grad study already? Are you done? And so now you're looking to just ease right into something because I don't know that it's still going to be that easy for you. But
I
I would check back in with us if
Yeah,
you
we
are
we can
still.
try this again.
Yeah, you're done. Yes, from Moscow. Okay.
And sometimes that's what the problem is. I don't understand all this, but I understand sometimes requirements and certifications between different countries,
Are
they
different.
have different problems involved, and they make it harder for you, especially
Well,
these
some
days.
are
So
easier. I know that some places may be more lax than others. And when I say lax, I don't mean it that way. I just mean they don't demand as much, I should put it that way, as other places. So, I don't know. I would not give up and I would give it a shot
right.
despite what the cards are saying. But they may be saying that there may be a little bit more required yet before you can fit in. So see if it's worth your while or not, and then make your decision from there. I wish you luck. I hope it works out for you,
Good
actually.
luck.
Good luck with that. I know how hard it can be. And it's a shame because, boy, especially in medicine and some of the other fields, you have to put in a lot of effort and time and money into the educational process. And you just like to think It could be easier easing into something afterwards. So good luck with
And
that.
you spend a large part of your life afterwards paying back for that medical education.
Exactly.
You're welcome, Neelam.
All right.
So Jasmina asks, will they find another job? They are currently working in a lot of toxicity. And we definitely are sorry about that. I
Oh,
understand.
toxic workplaces. Yeah.
Here you are already. So I'm going to use my Ancestral Path Tarot.
Well, I do think we should close the list after Emily because it's 1:45 now.
Alrighty.
I know we didn't get as many readings today, but
No, that's fine.
so.
You know, I could use it.
Well, yeah, we're right on time. We took our time with some of the readings, and that's fine. All right. All right. I've certainly had my experience with toxic workplaces, let's just say. Okay,
We both have.
we both have. That is correct. Well, let me get this horse.
More than once, maybe.
Let's do this one.
You know what? In Troy was a pretty toxic place back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
The Coavin.
it's not my deck, is it?
It's my deck.
Here, okay.
I'm so sorry to hear that. We can relate.
You're right. I'm sorry.
If we get a vague answer, we will do a yes or no after this to see if
Yeah.
it gives us a better idea. All right, and our cards. The Five of Swords.
Boy.
Boy, that talks
Right.
directly to what you just said. Five of Swords is very toxic. The Chariot reversed. Oi. I'm so sorry. And the Page of Swords reversed, called the Princess of Swords here. So I hate to tell you this, Jasmina, but it really doesn't look promising that
At the moment.
at the moment that you would find a way to get away. Here's the anchor. So the anchor, of course,
Says it all.
and the rider. It does really feel like you're stuck here. The chariot reverse could be a twofold kind of idea. The chariot reverse could be saying that due to the situation that's so unbearable for you, that you're so depressed or demoralized, you don't have the motivation to really put yourself out there trying to find something else, that you really have kind of cranked down on yourself. The Page of Swords itself is suggesting it's a nearly combative situation there. It's literally a situation where if you try to stand up for yourself, you're bound to feel sorry.
Well, I'm looking at those last two cards a little differently from him, but clearly the Five of Swords speaks about what you are going through right now. And it's difficult. It's difficult. You feel like no matter what you're doing there, you just can't win. You just seem to never can win. Never win a battle, never win an argument, never feel you have the support you need. It's a no-win situation. I get that. And unfortunately, the rest of the cards are just talking about this slowdown. And I think here for now, the Chariot is just saying you feel like the brakes, that your ability to move forward is stalled, that there's nothing happening right now. And I'm tying that right into the Page of Swords because the Page of Swords is about, either number one, you're not finding enough jobs that you feel qualified for or that you want to apply for, or you haven't been getting responses back. That could be happening too. It just seems like nothing is happening there. And it's magnified by the Lenormand because the rider is stuck by the anchor. It's almost like the horse is tied up. Even though you want to move, you can't move right now. So it's almost like something's holding you in place. So, I would just say that for now, Deep breathe, do whatever you can outside the job to de-stress as much as possible and hang in there. Try to stay under the radar and make sure, nothing happens that gets you fired or let go for any reason. Just deal with what you have to for now and keep looking. Even though things seem stalled right now, don't allow it, like Mr. O had said here. I'll go on to that a little bit. Don't allow it to demotivate you from searching. Keep looking. Something may open up, but it seems like for the moment, right now, maybe till the end of May, things are stagnating.
Hi, Paisley. I like what you said there. And yeah, we've all been there. I guess many of us have been there. I like what Banshee says about the Lenormand. The idea that, the writer normally would be that agent of change, that agent of movement, but they are held back by the anchor as well. And I would further say that the Princess or Page of Swords represents a person that maybe doesn't feel they have any movement either. They don't feel a fluid movement. They don't feel a natural movement towards something. And that could be you saying, what prospects I see just aren't right for me, that I would only be wasting my time if I try to get this job when I don't really have these qualifications, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough go at least till the end of the month. I think we could check in June and see if the energies have changed. Um, That's what I would suggest right now. And hang tough. And even though we are saying nothing's happening, should you see things that you want to apply for, keep doing it. Just keep doing it. It's possible too that sometimes, I will say this because I've worked in academia in the US here, and sometimes the wheels move slow. And you may put in an application somewhere and they're just holding on to it for a while. You may get a call later. So that's why I say never give up and keep doing it because you never know what's slowing things down. It may not be that they aren't going to consider you, but they may have reasons that they're not calling you right away. So just keep at it. That's the best thing I can tell you.
Good luck,
You
my dear.
deserve better than putting up with, a negative, hostile work environment.
Come see us again.
Good luck with that. Okay, we are on Emily. And sorry, Paisley, you came a little late. We did have a shorter list today. Maybe you've been in the background listening and you just don't have a question today, which is fine. We're always happy for people to just come in and chat. Don't feel you have to hide in the shadows, though, till the end. Just let us know. I'm just here to watch today, and we're good with that.
Thanks for saying hi. And it's Emily, Emily G, who asked, my question is, what are N's feelings or intentions towards me at this time?
Okay.
You're welcome, Jasmina. Do come back and see us again, and we can take it up again. See. Thank you so much, sweetie. Appreciate that. We love you too. Thank you so much.
To know that people are just here to watch, that's fine. No pressure either way. We want everybody to have a good time in the chat. And you share a lot of nice stuff from time to time, so feel free to just come and join us either way. But as far as happy hour goes, everybody should get a happy message.
That's right. Until we say officially we've closed the list, whoever shows up gets one.
All right. Well, we're just going to go slightly over our time slot. Oh, it's the Five of Wands reversed. That's not. Is there a sword on that card? It says wands,
It's
right?
the wands.
Yeah, five of wands reversed.
It's like a pole.
Okay. And interestingly, the Hierophant is reversed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was really feeling pretty good about this until I saw the last card.
Uh-oh. Oh,
It's
dear.
the Ten of Swords upright. Hmm. Let's see what you have.
Is that the man?
Yeah.
It is the man himself. And the key.
Well. Boy, this is going to be a reading. I'm not sure where to go with it.
Okay, what are N's feelings or intentions towards me? Well, that man in the Lenormand and the key are probably um, about N. But let's take a look at the other cards first.
At this time. So I take it that maybe you have some dealings with this person, if not a relationship already. Has there been problems between you and this person by chance? You can just answer yes or no. I'm just curious because of some of the cards I'm seeing here.
Right, the Five of Wands could be people who have some driven situations. You say no, okay.
Okay. Well, this is somebody who is this is somebody who maybe has had I don't know if they had been in a relationship in recent times that has been one that they have left. I'm wondering if they have left somebody behind, maybe a situation that was conflictual, or if they have some other situation in their life that has been causing them conflict. But it seems like they're moving away from that. So I guess their intentions, if I'm looking at their intentions with you and their current feelings, they may feel like you are somebody who could maybe provide them with some stability after a time of maybe some turmoil in their lives or some challenges that they've been facing.
I'm not always sure how I feel about the Five of Wands,
Yeah.
reversed or upright. Sometimes I feel there are better qualities there. Sometimes I don't. It kind of depends on the situation. Because of how you're asking about, somebody else, I get the feeling like it still represents a mixed bag. Like maybe they do sort of want to have some sort of engagement with you. Something's going on. But it may be that they have their own sense of a come here but stay away, like a push pull kind of thing. Like maybe this is saying like they sort of want to engage you, but they sort of want to keep you off balance in a way. And that carries
Keep you
through.
guessing.
Yeah, keep you guessing. But that carries through in a way with the Hierophant.
Well, the Hierophant is reversed. It's almost as if they're taking a rather unorthodox approach to this relationship or a relationship with you. They may be a little bit quirky with how they approach things.
Do you think that there's something about you that they really don't like or that they might want to like get rid of? Like to me, the Ten of Swords could be saying like they have these quirky feelings, this sort of, odd way of framing their situations. And maybe this suggests to me that they like you, but, your habit of, doting over cat pictures on the internet bothers them or some other such. Just a thought.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to do more. Um,
That was the Ten of Swords.
I know. I'm really looking at that Hierophant and the Ten of Swords a little bit here, and just thinking that they're approaching things differently this time because of the way that they have been burned before. I just think that Ten of Swords here is indicating to me
Oh,
what?
are they a person who has had some really bad relationships,
Wasn't
maybe?
there
Were
a
they
reason
divorced
here in the
before?
beginning with the
Maybe
first?
they don't think fondly of marriage. I don't know. Or relationships.
Yeah, See, they have been burned before, and I'm feeling that the first card and the last card are kind of indicating that to me. That's what I said with the first card, that I felt here that maybe they've gotten out of a difficult situation, challenging situation, that they want something, they're taking a different approach now towards you, and they want to leave that past behind. They really do. They want something that is going to bring more light back into their lives. They're hoping, maybe their intentions are that they are hoping that this relationship will do that. But I think the key here is there's a lot riding on how much they're willing to let go of their past to move this thing forward with you. Are they still being haunted by something in their past that, is still troubling them and maybe holding them back from moving this thing forward a little quicker?
So the key is knowing them at a different level than you may be able to right at the moment, or that you may have thought about. That maybe understanding where they're really coming from, their past or their sense of honor or whatever.
Yeah, I could almost see that too. That maybe the key and the man is advice for you in this situation. That you really have to get to know them more and what's making them tick. And I think here, and also what maybe, and maybe giving them just a little bit of slack because of what they have maybe gone through in their past. That's what I'm thinking. So I would just not expect much to, when the Hierophant is reversed. Now, when the Hierophant,
Unconventional.
right, when the Hierophant is upright, they're ready to find some kind of structured relationship with you, marriage, or just something that's one on one, something that's really tight. But when it's reversed, it may need more time to gel into something conventional. Okay? That's why I think they're taking more of a different approach right now with how things are
That's what it
developing
looks like.
between
Yeah.
the two of you. So cut them a little slack, give them a little time. I have a feeling maybe they will come around in time. They just may need a little bit more time to come to terms with what else, what has happened in their past. So I'm
Maybe
feeling
ask
there.
us in a couple weeks and we'll see.
So good luck with that.
All
I
right.
wish you luck.
So
All
that's our
right,
show
that's
then.
it. We're done. We're done at 4:02.
Yes.
Whoa, not bad.
Well, we want to thank everybody for coming, and you're welcome
Absolutely.
to, Emily, of course.
And we were able to spend maybe a little bit more time on some of these readings since it was a slow go. And hey, I have a feeling summer our lists sometimes go down a little bit because everybody's busy
Right.
having fun.
But that's good. That means that you can get in here and get a reading.
That's right. So hope to see you all again sometime soon. And again, we thank you all for your support as always. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you add, not just, for us, but to the people in the chat. I think everybody enjoys conversing with one another and having a good time here.
The interaction is great.
So take care. Have a great week ahead. And we hope to see you real soon. Bye for
Bye-bye.
now.